You ever scroll through Instagram and dream of living somewhere new? We all do. But while some countries roll out the welcome mat, others bolt the door. Today, we're exploring the world's most exclusive clubs. Countries with the toughest immigration policies. These are places where even getting a tourist visa is a challenge, and becoming a resident or citizen nearly impossible. Why are some nations so closed off? It's about history, priorities, and a vision for the future. Think of it as trying to get into the world's most exclusive VIP section. Except the bouncer is an entire government. This isn't about shaming or praising, just understanding how and why these walls exist. The policies are complex, rooted in each nation's unique story. So grab your imaginary passport and let's explore the places most of us will only ever see from afar. The world is beautiful, complicated, and sometimes very exclusive. Let's dive in. First up, the big one, North Korea. Calling their immigration policy strict is an understatement. This is a country designed to be sealed off. For most people, immigrating here isn't just hard, it's not even a concept. The ideology of yuchi, or self-reliance, keeps the nation isolated. The government controls who enters, who leaves, and what information crosses the border. Tourism is possible, but only on state-sanctioned tours with minders watching your every move. Living there? Unless you're a diplomat, a rare NGO worker, or a high-profile defector, forget it. There's no path to residency for ordinary people. Even diplomats live in isolated compounds, cut off from everyday life. North Korea is engineered for uniformity. Outsiders are simply not part of the plan. The idea of applying for a work visa or asylum is almost laughable. The few foreigners allowed in are guests, never allowed to forget it. Meanwhile, most traffic is outward, people risking everything to leave. It's not about bureaucracy or quotas, it's a total ideological barrier. North Korea is the ultimate example of a country where the welcome mat was never laid out. It's a living time capsule, but you're not invited to open it. When it comes to closed doors, North Korea is in a league of its own. Here, exclusion isn't a policy, it's the foundation. The world's most exclusive club? North Korea might just be it. Let's move on. Next, Bhutan, the kingdom of gross national happiness. It looks like a Himalayan paradise, but part of preserving that happiness is keeping the gates tightly shut. Bhutan's approach is protective, not hostile. Their culture is a precious heirloom and they guard it fiercely. Tourists are welcome, but only under a high-value, low-volume policy, meaning high daily fees and limited numbers. Permanent residency? Almost unheard of. Citizenship is based on blood. If your parents aren't Bhutanese, your chances are slim. Naturalization is possible, but the requirements are daunting. Decades of residence, deep cultural knowledge, and a spotless record. Even then, it's up to the king. Bhutan's history of isolation and past immigration tensions have shaped this strict approach. Guest workers can come for specific jobs, but there's no path to citizenship. When your contract ends, so does your stay. It's a paradox, a country that values happiness, but only for those already inside. For Bhutan, protecting culture and happiness means keeping the club small. Outsiders can visit, but rarely stay. It's not about being unfriendly, it's about preservation. If you dream of living in Bhutan, a visit is likely as close as you'll get. The velvet rope is real, and it's not coming down. Happiness here is exclusive by design. On to the next. Now, to Saudi Arabia, a country full of foreigners but not immigrants. Over a third of the population are expats, essential to the economy, but almost all are temporary workers. The kafala system ties your legal status to your employer. Lose your job, lose your right to stay. There's no path to citizenship for most, even if you're born and raised there. The system creates two worlds, citizens with full rights and expats living on borrowed time. Why? It's about protecting national identity and the social contract for Saudis. Naturalization is rare, usually reserved for those who've provided exceptional service, and only by royal decree. Recent reforms introduced a premium residency for wealthy investors and top professionals, but it's out of reach for most. For millions of workers, the revolving door remains. Saudi Arabia's message: workers welcome, settlers not. You can spend your life building the country, but you'll never truly belong. It's not a closed door, but it's never fully open. Presence doesn't equal acceptance. Here, immigration is a temporary arrangement, not a new beginning. The line between guest and citizen is clear, and rarely crossed. It's a unique kind of exclusivity. Let's see how small countries handle their gates. Next stop, Liechtenstein. Liechtenstein, tiny, wealthy, and nearly impossible to move to. With fewer than 40,000 people, every newcomer makes a big impact. Immigration is controlled by strict quotas, just a handful of permits each year, some by lottery. Win the lottery? That's just the start. Citizenship requires 30 years of residence, one of the world's longest waits. There's a fast track. After 5 years you can apply for naturalization, but only if your local community votes you in. Yes, your neighbors literally decide if you belong. Even then, the prince has the final say. It's a system designed to protect social cohesion and the country's unique character. Integration isn't just about paperwork, it's about being truly accepted. Liechtenstein is deeply connected to Europe, but fiercely guards its sovereignty. It's a fairy tale country with a real, invisible wall. Here, exclusivity is personal, democratic, and absolute. The line to get in is decades long and the door rarely opens. It's the ultimate small-town club. Next, the smallest country of all, Vatican City. Let's see what exclusivity looks like when faith is the gatekeeper. Onward. Vatican City, just over 100 acres and the world's smallest country. Immigrating here? Impossible. Vatican City isn't a nation of citizens, but the headquarters of the Catholic Church. Citizenship is granted only for specific jobs: cardinals, diplomats, Swiss guards, and church officials. It's all about jus officii, right of office, not birth or residence. Citizenship is temporary, tied to your role. When your job ends, so does your status. Even children of Vatican employees lose citizenship when they come of age. The only permanent resident is the Pope. There's no immigration office, no path for outsiders. The only way in is a lifetime of religious service and a rare assignment. The Swiss Guard? Citizens for a few years, then back to Switzerland. Vatican City is a company town, and the company is the church. It's not about exclusion, it's about function. Unless you're called to serve, you'll only ever visit as a tourist. The world's smallest state is also the most exclusive. Here the gates are closed by design. Next, a hermit kingdom you might not know, Turkmenistan. Let's go. Turkmenistan, one of the world's most closed and mysterious countries. Ruled by an authoritarian government, it's a place of secrecy and control. Even visiting as a tourist is tough. You need an official invitation and a state-approved guide. Unsupervised travel, forbidden, immigration. There's no transparent path for foreigners to become residents or citizens. The state is the ultimate gatekeeper, and the answer is almost always no. Turkmenistan isn't seeking foreign investment, skilled workers, or multiculturalism. The focus is on preserving a tightly controlled national identity. Foreigners are seen as potential threats to the state's narrative. Diplomats and oil workers are allowed in, but only as temporary guests, isolated from society. For most, applying for residency is a non-starter. Bureaucracy is opaque and decisions are arbitrary. The country remains a blank spot on the map by choice. By keeping foreigners out, the government maintains control. Turkmenistan's wall isn't physical, it's built of silence and suspicion. Here, no is the default answer. Let's visit one last fortress, Eritrea. Eritrea, on the Horn of Africa, shaped by a long, hard fight for independence. The result? Fierce self-reliance and extreme difficulty for outsiders to enter or settle. Eritrea is often called the North Korea of Africa for its political control and isolation. Borders are tightly controlled, even tourist visas are hard to get and often denied. There's no formal immigration program. Foreigners are only allowed in for specific government-approved projects. Indefinite national service for citizens means most are focused on survival, not welcoming newcomers. The government's philosophy, Eritrea must be built by Eritreans for Eritreans. Foreign aid, influence, and people are viewed with suspicion. Access for journalists, academics, or aid workers is extremely limited. You can't just show up with a business plan or a dream. Doors are closed. The result is a unique, isolated society, largely untouched by global trends. Visitors describe it as fascinating but unsettling, always under watch. Eritrea's exclusivity is born from struggle, nationalism, and a fortress mentality. The drawbridge is up, and outsiders need not apply. Here, survival and control come first. The world's most exclusive clubs take many forms. So, there you have it, hermit kingdoms, tiny principalities, fortress states. Each has its own reasons for exclusion, history, ideology, geography. The freedom to move isn't universal, and these countries remind us of that. It makes you appreciate the places that do open their doors. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the world's most exclusive clubs. If you enjoyed this, Hit subscribe and let's keep exploring together. Remember, every country has its own story, and it's our job to respect it. The world is endlessly fascinating and complex. Let's keep learning, stay curious, and see where the next adventure takes us. Thanks for watching.